And so if you, that's right, you watching this, think you need to eat 4,000 calories a day to bulk, that's what Chris is eating. 6'1", a mountain of muscle, gaining 30 pounds of muscle 6 to 8 months. Coach Greg and Chris Bumstead is behind. He has to add 30 pounds of muscle in preparation for the 2022 Mr. Olympia. He's the 3-time champion, wants to make it a 4th, but he's behind. He suffered from that flu thing that's going around. He's lost a lot of muscle. He is, in fact, quite shredded, but it's time to pack on the muscle, and he's about to go for a bulk. Of course he has to bulk. I'm 100% in favor of Chris bulking. I never preach people trying to gain muscle, main gain, when too lean. Chris Bumstead is single-digit body fat. He needs to add more calories in order to add more muscle. And last I checked, he's not natural. He's trying to gain 30 pounds of muscle, probably in 6 to 8 months. He obviously needs a huge surplus, not 30 calories a day, to gain that kind of muscle in that short a period of time. He said in his last video that he's going to put on this muscle slowly. You know, like 6 to 8 months, 30 pounds muscle, just going to put on slow and steady. Well, to me, that's mind-blowingly fast. Most people, especially natural, to put on 30 pounds of muscle, probably going to take 5 or more years, even if you have really good genetics. But Chris, he's already had that muscle in the past, so muscle memory is going to be in full force. Also, the supplement memory. He's probably not going to do this natural, and so of course, he has to eat in a surplus. But how big of a surplus does he really need? And how many calories is going to eat? Today's video, we're going to find out. And exactly what is he going to eat?
I want to quickly show you guys, because I have this transformation contest going on right now. On my app, there is a macro calculator, and it's super easy to use. I'm going to use it right now.
And so he has an app. It tells you how many calories you need to eat to bulk. He's 6'1" and very active. He has more muscle than 99.9% of the world. This guy needs to eat. And he's bulking and not natural. And guess how many calories he has to have? 4,130. You probably thought it was 5, 6, 7,000 calories. 4,130 calories. And so if you, that's right, you watching this, think you need to eat 4,000 calories a day to bulk, that's what Chris is eating. 6'1", a mountain of muscle, gaining 30 pounds of muscle 6 to 8 months. 4,100 calories. You really think that most people need over 3,000 calories a day to bulk? Chances are, if you're eating 3,000 calories or more, you're eating too much. Unless you're extremely active, doing a ton of cardio like Coach Greg, I eat 3,500 calories a day. Unless you're doing a lot of cardio or you're extremely massive, you probably don't need over 3,000 calories a day.
Typically look at it, at least for the bulk, is 1 gram per pound of body weight is what I want to hit at the minimum for my protein. At the minimum. If I go a little over, that's totally okay.
And for Chris, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And does he in fact need that much protein? Yes! He's on PDs. He's going to grow muscle at an accelerated rate. So for Chris, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or more, that makes sense. However, he is in a bulk, and when you're bulking, the extra carbs and fat have a protein-sparing effect. That means the protein that you're eating is going to be used to build muscle. If he was in a cut, a lot of that protein could be used for energy. But because Chris is bulking and he's searching for his 4th Olympia title, he can't take any chances. 240 grams of protein a day on 4,100 calories, it's actually going to be easy. The more food you're eating, the easier it is to get enough protein. If he was only eating 2,000 calories a day, imagine how much harder it would be to get the 240 grams. So when you're bulking, in life it's easy. It's easy to get the macronutrients that you need.
But I really only try and make that my minimum protein and everything within like 20% of those macros. It doesn't have to be that specific. You don't have to be that crazy.
And don't worry if you hit exactly each and every macro. If you're off by 20%, give or take, you're fine. At the end of the day, that's right, what am I going to say? Calories in, calories out. If one day he eats 20 more grams of fat and 20 grams less the next day, no big deal, so don't worry. Just make sure you eat enough calories, enough protein, and the rest will fall into place.
I'm gonna start making breakfast. This is one of my bigger meals of the day at the points of the day when I have a really high appetite. Right now it's in the morning, believe it or not. I don't know why, but I'm always starving right now.
And he doesn't know why he wakes up starving right now. It's because he has single-digit body fat and he just finished fasting overnight. Breakfast breaking a fast? It's because you haven't eaten in a long time. You're hungry in the morning when you're shredded. Many people wake up and they're not hungry. And guess what many people are? Many people are overweight. You wake up and you're not hungry because you ate so much before bed. If you go to bed and eat a 16-inch pizza and wake up and say, I'm fasting, yeah, of course you're fasting. You just ate 2,000 calories before bed. But if you're 8% body fat, not eating a huge surplus, of course you wake up hungry. That is your body saying, you got to eat. You're too lean. Chris is far leaner than his body wants him to be. He's below his body's set point, the ideal rate where he can build muscle at. Everyone has a certain set point. For most people, it's somewhere between 10 and 20%. And with PDs, HRT, and so on, it's a little bit lower, probably 10 to 15%. Chris is single-digit body fat. So by increasing his food intake, he's slowly going to add muscle and body fat and be within his ideal range for optimizing muscle growth. So you might be thinking, but Coach Greg, you say to maintain. Why doesn't Chris maintain? Because Chris finished dieting for the Olympia. He was eating 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day at the end towards his Olympia. That is not enough. He was over-dieting, losing muscle. So now that he's training to gain muscle for the Olympia, he has to do the opposite. Bodybuilders have to bulk and cut because when they compete, they're too lean to optimize muscle growth. So Chris is too lean to maximally be able to build muscle. He's going to bulk. Then when he gets into that healthy range, the ideal set point, he will then maintain from there. He's not going to continue to bulk to 20+% body fat. So if you're watching this video right now and you're already at 20%, why are you bulking? But if you're as lean as Chris Bumstead, you probably should be bulking because you're too lean to optimize your muscle growth. But how many of you watching right now are as lean as Chris? Maybe 1 in 100. So my estimation from people who hire me, about 5% of people in this world need to bulk. 5%, that's it. 5% of the population are below the amount of body fat that they need to optimize muscle growth. The rest of the people, the average person is already overweight. They're overweight or obese, and so to bulk when you're already overweight, it doesn't make sense. It would be like saying, I just ate too much food, and I'm going to now eat more food. If you already ate too much food, why eat more? If your body fat is already too high, why are you adding in more food? You are already bulking. You might not have thought you're bulking, but you are. I'm 193 pounds. I have 9% body fat. I may in fact benefit from bulking because I'm very lean. However, I'm on HRT and I feel fine. I feel great in the gym. I train and I feel good. So I don't think I need to eat more. However, if I was natural, I probably would. And so Chris, he's trying to optimize his nutrition. He's taking greens and fiber, glutamine, everything. He wants to be perfect. Does he need these supplements? Not really, but why not take it? If it can even help 1%, that could be the difference between Chris winning the Olympia and getting second place. So no, you don't need all these supplements, but why not take them? Same as my supplements. Do you need them? Of course not. You don't need pre-workout. You don't need creatine, beta-alanine, turkesterone. But if it can make a difference, 1, 2, 3%, that can be the difference between winning and losing.
I use quick oats because they blend a little easier. And honestly, with this much fruit in there and stuff, you don't even feel the texture of the oats in there.
And yeah, your oats can't get much quicker than blending them up in a shake. I am not a fan of this at all. I think every calorie counts, and just to slam back some oats in a shake, to me, that's a waste of calories. When I'm eating, I want to feel like I'm eating. I don't want to slam back a quick shake and get it over with. I want to enjoy my food. I'm not saying that the shake doesn't taste good, but couldn't he better use these calories to make him feel full? But hey, he's bulking, and so he doesn't have to concern himself with feeling full. Maybe he needs to do this to get all the food down, and without it, he would be too full.
All right, so part 2 of breakfast, I make my smoothie and I start drinking it while I make this because this always takes longer than expected because I do not have a toaster.
Babe, Chris has no toaster. You gotta buy Chris's supplements. He can't afford a toaster. And he doesn't even have the proper blender. I've seen him blend it in the garage. What is up with Chris? He doesn't have a proper blender and he doesn't even have a toaster.
Final product, like I said, 3 pieces of toast, avocado, and some eggs. Actually, it's a lie. Final product, because ketchup is life.
He's got the exact same ketchup as me, and although he's bulking, he's still using low-calorie ketchup. What does that tell me? It tells me he still wants to feel full. If not, he'd be using regular ketchup. And so meal one, just over 1,000 calories. But remember, that's out of 4,000 total calories in a day. So 1,000, it's not that much. And he did just finish a fast, and he's very hungry for breakfast.
280 grams of white rice, and then I have 175 grams of ground turkey. And I'm still mixing in shredded lettuce.
And he's still adding the shredded lettuce to his meals to add extra bulk fiber to keep him full. Remember how I preached you need to be full and satiated? If you're not full, you overeat calories. So although he's bulking, he doesn't want to eat too many calories. He's not eating 5,000 calories a day. And I did the math, and assuming it's about 2,750 calories to build 1 pound of muscle over the course of 6 months, it's about 450 surplus calories he needs per day. And so think of it, 30 pounds of muscle in 6 months, that is really, really fast. You only need a calorie surplus of 450. And in comparison, to build even 10 pounds of muscle in 6 months, that only requires 150 calorie daily surplus per day. 150. But you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna lean bulk. I'm only gonna have a 500 calorie surplus a day. Chris Bumstead himself, with this kind of muscle growth, 30 pounds of muscle, about 6 months, 450 calories. But you want 500 calories for your bulk. That bulk is going to make you fat. It's not going to add 30 pounds of muscle. And so meal two, just over 600 calories, rice, ground turkey, sprouts, and some shredded lettuce to help him stay shredded even on a bulk.
All right, so post-workout meal. This is the Lazy Man's meal. This is a MegaFit keto sesame chicken.
And so meal three, I have no idea what it is. Some kind of a keto sesame chicken meal with 100 grams of rice. Keto meal, no carbs, with 100 grams of rice carbs. Keto means you're without carbs, your body produces ketones, and if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Chris is not on a keto diet. Gertie, let's not...
Gertie, come here.
She's literally twerking on the table. And meal four, the biggest calories a day, almost 1,200, pasta and ground beef with spaghetti sauce. Reminds me of bike racing. When we were bike racing back in the day, we always ate high carb meals before races. We're riding sometimes 100 plus kilometers in a race. We need a lot of carbs. Chris is trying to bulk, so he's getting in the extra calories. But on seeing the portion size that I'm actually seeing and knowing that's almost 1,200 calories, that is shocking to me. I can't believe that small amount of food has 1,200 calories. No wonder people are not losing weight. I would look at that meal and think probably 600-700 calories. 1,200. Almost 1,200 calories. I could eat 2 to 3 of those with ease. So if you are trying to be lean and you're not on a bulk, which is most people don't need to bulk, do not eat so many high calorie dense foods. Pasta, ground beef, spaghetti sauce, that is a ton of calories. If you're doing a lot of cardio, bike racing like Coach Greg, perhaps that is a good meal for you. But if you're not, if you're trying to stay lean, probably something you should avoid.
I'm trying to make sure that I don't overeat and get fat because I was not eating a lot before this. So we're trying to slowly increase my calories.
He's trying to not overeat and get fat. If he had no abs, he probably would be fat. Remember I said that in a video? Any bodybuilder that doesn't have any kind of outline of abs in the off season, you're fat. If you're a woman and you can't see your abs, doesn't mean you're automatically fat. It's possible. Doesn't mean it is, because women on average carry about 9% more body fat than men. Chris does not want to get fat, but he is in fact on a bulk, 4,100 calories. He's the Mr. Freaking Olympia trying to pack on 30 pounds of muscle. So the overall message I'm trying to portray in this video is if you are in fact bulking, do so in moderation. This is Chris, a huge, massive, muscular man, only eating 4,100 calories on a bulk, a large bulk. He's trying to put on 30 pounds of muscle. How many of you think you can put on 30 pounds of muscle? And so his final meal of the day, 5 small little pancakes for 780 calories. I can't believe there's that many calories in that tiny little plate of pancakes. If he was eating from my cookbook, he could eat double the amount of volume and be full. Even though he's bulky, he could still benefit from the cookbook. Still eat more volume, more delicious pancakes that are low in calories. Instead of eating 5, could eat perhaps 10. Wouldn't you rather eat more food? Now, if you're full and you can't get the calories in, sure. But Chris, he still seems to be hungry. He still has the low-calorie ketchup, and he's still concerned with getting fat. So if you are concerned with getting fat, please try getting one of my cookbooks, meatless one, the regular one, and if you don't know how to diet and keep it off, get the Circle book. I wrote a diet book called The Circle Diet. It's a forever diet, the one and only that will allow you to lose the weight, keep it off for the rest of your life. If you've ever yo-yo dieted in the past and it didn't work, this is the book for you.
So if you know what you've been eating on average in a day, calculate that at one point. If you're trying to gain weight, increase it by like 200 or 300 calories. If you're trying to lose weight, decrease it by 200 or 300 calories.
And so how many calories does Chris suggest you eat? Well, he says to calculate how many calories you're eating right now, figure that out, and if you're bulking, add 200 to 300 calories more. If you're cutting, take away 200 to 300 calories. So he wants you to do that at a slow rate. If you do see that you're getting too much fat, you obviously can lower it from 200 to 300 to maybe less than 200 to 300. If you're getting fat on 200 to 300, just cut it down. This is not going to make you fat overnight. If you're in a 200 to 300 calorie surplus, you're not going to get fat in a week. You won't even get fat in a month. If you stay in a 200 to 300 calorie surplus for 5 or 10 years, of course you're going to get fat, but it's not going to happen overnight. So my advice, check yourself out in the mirror. No matter what your goals, bulk, cut, main gain, look in the mirror. If you're getting too fat too quickly, you're eating too much. If you're losing weight too fast, too quickly, no energy, you're not eating enough. If you're staying about the same body fat rise, you're probably eating the amount you need. Unless you're too skinny, then you need to eat more. This is really quite simple. Let the mirror be your guide. Weigh yourself on a consistent basis so you're not randomly shocked one day, oh my God, I gained 50 pounds and I never knew it. So I suggest weigh yourself. Don't let the scale dictate if you're happy or sad. Just use it as actual scientific information to help you know, are you gaining or losing weight? And based on that, eat the amount of calories that you need for your goals.
But still, you have to track your food and track your body weight and look in the mirror and see how your body's changing.
And Chris says it, track yourself in the mirror. Look in the mirror and see, what is it doing? Look at your performance in the gym. Or if you're excelling in the gym, you're probably eating enough. If you're getting weaker all the time, losing body fat and getting weak, feel like shit, eat more. It really is that simple.
Before you get fat, you can also just track your scale. If you put on more than a pound a week, that's a lot of weight. So just be sure to monitor everything and start slowly.
And Chris says if you're gaining more than a pound a week, that's probably too much. Please check your calorie intake because it's probably going to be fat if you're gaining more than a pound a week. But we're not talking about supplements here. If you just added in supplements, then you might be gaining more weight, more muscle, and that would be normal. It might be water weight, glycogen, sarcoplasmic intracellular water gain. Who knows? But if you do notice you're getting fatter, more bloated, it's not quality muscle, then perhaps slow down on the amount of calories you're eating. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IP Pro. Please watch the Bloops. Harder than last time supplements, including turkesterone. Maybe you'll gain a pound a week. Who knows? You never know. Also, cookbooks, the Circle Diet book, training books, coaching plans, me and my team, phone consults, everything at the website. Click the link in description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. And until next time, I'm out.